Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to take some time to talk about Luffy's crew. Now, at the end of the Wano arc, we're going to see that the Straw Hat's bounty is gonna have to increase, which is going to make the Straw Hat crew a highly sought after one, not only by the world government, but by also some glory and wealth-seeking pirates. So in this video, we're going to talk about the possibilities of how each member of the Straw Hat's crew is going to grow in their bounty after the end of this arc, and which enemies that they've defeated in order to get these bounties. But before we start speculating on all these new wanted posters, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like, or even subscribing and leaving a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help us out in an even bigger way, consider sharing the video or the channel with some friends. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, during this Wano arc, we've seen that Luffy and his Straw Hats have faced a lot of powerful enemies, in which they're gonna get a bump in their bounties for defeating them. And it's very likely that the bounty bump that they get may be the highest we've seen yet. With the arrival of the Navy in Wano, this further confirms this possibility, as they're gonna be talking directly to the Gorosei, who are responsible for giving bounty values to any pirate in the world. So let's take a moment to talk about each Straw Hat and see what they've done during the journey to get their bounty increased. And then we're gonna talk about how much each one's bounty might increase after this Wano arc. Starting with our favorite rubber captain, the man known as Straw Hat Luffy. His first bounty actually came after the Arlong Park arc, where Luffy defeated Arlong and defeated the Navy captain who worked along with Arlong, Nezumi, so that he wouldn't take all of Nami's treasure. You see, Nezumi wanted revenge against Luffy and personally made sure that Luffy got a bounty of 30 million berries, giving Luffy the largest bounty in all of the East Blue. And the Navy superiors were also really pissed off at that time because Luffy alone solved all the problems that they couldn't. The second time Luffy's bounty was increased was after he defeated a member participating in one of the three great powers that maintained the balance of the seas at that time. And of course, we're talking about when Luffy was able to defeat Crocodile, who was known as a Shishibukai, or a warlord of the sea. This confrontation forced the world government to publicly acknowledge the evil activities of Crocodile and his organization Baroque works that were going on in Alabasta. This led to his arrest and removal from his position as a warlord, and we saw Luffy's bounty increase to 100 million berries. The third increase in Luffy's bounty was after he led an attack on Enies Lobby, and Luffy single-handedly managed to defeat over 1,000 soldiers, even without exerting himself, as well as managing to defeat Rob Lucci and Bluno of CP9. After this, he managed to do this, and Luffy's bounty was increased to 300 million berries. Luffy's fourth increase in bounty occurred after he attacked a world noble and caused a mass breakout of many prisoners at Impel Down. And he also participated in this Battle of Marineford, known as the Battle of the Best, alongside Whitebeard's pirates, and it caused a ton of chaos on the battlefield. During this Battle of Marineford, it was also publicly revealed that Dragon was his father and that Garp was his grandfather. And this kind of familial connection also caused his bounty to be increased to 400 million berries. The fifth increase, where Luffy received his bounty to 500 million berries, was for fighting alongside Law and after, of course, defeating Don Quixote do Flamingo and his pirates, and earned him a great recognition from the Navy. The last and, of course, sixth bounty increase that Luffy received was after destroying the events on Whole Cake Island, and for defeating Charlotte Cracker and Charlotte Katakuri. And for these deeds, his bounty was raised to 1.5 billion berries, and was also kind of informally recognized as being the fifth Yonko by Big News Morgans. As our current arc in Wano is coming to a close, and of course Luffy has managed to defeat a Yonko, it's very likely his bounty increase will go up probably to somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 billion berries. And it wasn't just because he defeated any Yonko, but in fact the Yonko who has the highest bounty that's still living. So in this way, Luffy would get a bounty and also become a new Yonko. Moving on to the number one swordsman in our hearts, and of course number two in the crew is of course Roanoa Zoro, otherwise known as the Pirate Hunter Zoro. Now he got his first bounty of 60 million berries after he defeated Daz Bones, aka Mr. One, in the Alabasta arc, and then also 100 other bounty hunters at Whiskey Peak. The next increase that Zoro saw was of course after the events of Enies Lobby and defeating Kaku of CP9. Now Zoro's bounty was then increased to 120 million. Because of this, he was also named as one of the 11 supernovas, as well as his captain Luffy. The third increase to Zoro's bounty was of course after he helped defeat the Don Quixote pirates and defeated Pika, causing his bounty to increase even more and was evaluated at 320 million berries. And now that we're in Wano, and since Zoro was able to defeat Kaido's most loyal pirate king, it could be that Zoro is going to get a similar bounty to his Captain Luffy, because besides King, Zoro was able to defeat other pirates during this battle. Being Kaido's right-hand man, King already has an incredibly high bounty, being 1.39 billion berries. So this could allow Zoro to get a very high bounty after defeating it. So at this time, we're going to speculate that Zoro's bounty would increase to around 1.3 billion berries, and could be much more. And it really depends on the enemies that Zoro will be recognized for defeating, because as more enemies are defeated, Zoro is going to get recognized more. Moving on to our wonderful navigator Nami, also known as the cat burglar Nami. She had an initial bounty of 66 million berries, but after Enies Lobby and defeating Khalifa of CP9, Nami got a bump up to 16 billion berries and was officially named as a pirate. The next hike in Nami's bounty was for something really quite simple, and for simply being a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. And for that, her bounty was increased to 66 million berries after the Dressrosa incident. Now, although some may view Nami's actions in Wano as maybe not having defeated a major pirate, we have seen some things and upgrades with her. She was also able to steal Zeus away from Big Mom. So it really seems that through all of her help and everything she did helping out with the Kibidongos and everything else, we could see that her bounty could in fact be raised to somewhere around 300 million berries. And also, of course, being the navigator of a crew of a new Yonko. Next, we're going to talk about our favorite long-nosed sniper, of course, Usopp, who is also known by his alias Sogeking, or Sniper King. Usopp received his first bounty after the events in Enies Lobby, which allowed him to receive a 30 million berry bounty on his head for burning the world government flag on the Torah of Justice, and also attacking the leader of CP9, Spandam. His second bounty that he received was for helping defeat the Don Quixote pirates, and his bounty rose to 200 million berries. And this was particular for his role in freeing the people who had been taken out by Sugar, and managed to defeat her and supporting the Straw Hats soon after. And although Usopp didn't defeat any particularly powerful pirates in Wano, we have to remember his role in getting Tama's Chief Kibidongo out to everybody. And also, he's still a Straw Hat and helped bring down the enemies, so his bounty is easily going to go up to around 350 million berries. Next, we're going to talk about our favorite curly-eyebrowed cook, also known as Sanji, or Blackleg Sanji, who received his first bounty for the events of Enies Lobby and for defeating Jabra of CP9. Now, this gave Sanji an initial bounty of 77 million berries. The next bounty upgrade that Sanji got was again kind of like Nami for being a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, so his bounty was increased to 177 million berries after the Dressrosa incident. Following the events on Whole Cake Island, in which he destroyed his marriage and caused a huge mess between the Big Mom Pirates and Germa, his bounty increased again to 330 million berries. In this recent Wano arc though, Sanji ended up defeating Queen, who of course is probably number 3 in Kaido's ranks, and he currently holds a bounty of 1.32 billion berries. And by defeating Queen, we gotta see that Sanji's bounty is gonna get increased greatly for not only bringing down a huge pirate, but also somebody that really is a terror and well known among the world. So we could see Sanji's bounty coming up somewhere around 1.25 billion berries, or at least something close to that. Moving on to our ship's doctor, the adorable and brilliant Tony Chopper. He got his first bounty after the events that took place in Enies Lobby, and Chopper received a bounty of a paltry 50 berries. And this is really a low value because, of course, the world government believes that he's simply the crew's pet and doesn't respect Chopper in the way that they should. Like some of the others we've already discussed, Chopper got a second increase after being a member of the Straw Hat Pirates following the Dressrosa incident, and now has a bounty of still an insulting level of 100 berries. Because he's a Straw Hat, his bounty after Wano may increase because of the achievements of his crew members, and we're also hoping that he's gonna get that love and respect, but if he doesn't, we may only see his bounty go up to maybe around 500 berries. Next, we're gonna talk about our crew's archaeologist and really brain trust, and of course we're talking about Nicole Robin, aka the Demon Child of Ohara, who had a bounty of 79 million for the last 22 years, of course being the sole survivor of the Ohara incident when she was only 8 years old. Following the events of Enies Lobby, Robin got another bump in her bounty and was just a small increase to 80 million, and then also received an updated poster with a much older picture. Robin's third increase in bounty was obtained after assisting in the defeat of the Don Quixote pirates, which allowed Nicole Robin to have a bounty of 130 million berries. In Wano, Robin was able to take down Black Maria in an amazing epic fight. And also, Black Maria is a pirate that is known and is a known member of Kaido's crew, and currently has a bounty of 480 million berries. So as Robin is is a Straw Hat, her bounty could increase to at least 400 million or even more, as her crew is now going to be considered that of a Yonko crew because of her captain defeating Kaido. Moving on down to our shipwright, Frankie the Cyborg. He got his first bounty for burning the Pluton plans and defeating CP9's Fukuro, and helping the Straw Hats in Enies lobby, earning him an initial bounty of 44 million berries. With his help in defeating the Don Quixote pirates, we saw Frankie's increase to 94 million after that whole incident. Now, after the Wano arc, we have to wonder if Frankie is gonna get notoriety for having beaten Sasaki from the Armored Pirate Division of the Beast Pirates. Now, some may see this as a huge win, but other people might not see Sasaki as a quote-unquote powerful opponent. But either way, we gotta see that Frankie's bounty is gonna be increased to at least 300 million berries. Moving on to our favorite pervy skeleton and, of course, ship's musician, Brook, or otherwise known as Soul King. He got his first pirate after taking over as captain of the Rumbar Pirates, after his former captain lost his life, and had an initial bounty of 33 million berries. Much like the others, he got a bump in his bounty after being a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, going up to 83 million after the Dressrosa incident. Unfortunately, during this Wano arc, Brook really never got a shiny moment where he could take on somebody who might be considered powerful, but he has been an immense help taking down the Kaido pirates, and also stealing the copies of the poneglyphs that he was able to take from Big Mom. So at the very least, we could see Brook's bounty go up to at least somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 million berries. And finally, rounding out our roster, we come to Jinbe, the first son of the sea. Now, he received his first bounty of 76 million berries after his recruitment to the Sun Pirates, and this gave him his first bounty because of his past accomplishments. The second bounty increase our helmsman got was up to 250 million, but it's never been fully disclosed as to why. But this could most likely be because his actions against the world government during the past, and also being a warlord of the sea. The third increase that Jinbe got was up to 438 million berries after leaving the warlords, which made him wanted again by the world government, and now is the newest member of the Straw Hat crew. And this association is gonna bring an even bigger increase in his bounty overall. Considering the current Wano arc, whether Jinbe is gonna get a big bump or not is again gonna be kinda like Frankie. Whether or not they're gonna give him credit for defeating Who's Who and other Tobiropo, we have to know that his connection with Luffy is gotta bring his bounty up at least somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 million berries, or even more. But for now, that takes us through our whole roster of Straw Hats. And for now, I'd love to know what you think. Do you think our estimates were low or high? Where also do you think might we see some increases? And is there anything else we might have forgotten? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we bring our discussion to a close, I want to thank you all so much, my friends, for watching the video all the way up to the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like or maybe hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.